Laurie Cunningham was one of English football's first international superstars. He was the first ever Englishman to play for Real Madrid, as one of the first black players to play for England. He was a true trailblazer for the game, renowned as a legend by those he knew, and whilst his life was cut tragically short, the tales of his fashion and ability will last forever. This is a story of the life of Laurie Cunningham. Laurie Cunningham was born in Archway, London on the 8th of March 1956, the son of a Jamaican race jockey. He took up football at a young age and excelled in dancing too. Arsenal gave Cunningham a trial, but he felt he did not suit their style of play, and so they decided to not sign him up. He was soon snapped up by Leyton Orient instead. He would often turn up late to training, and so partook in dancing competitions to cover the costs of his fines. He'd make his debut for Orient in a pre-season friendly against West Ham. Despite the O's losing 1-0, Cunningham impressed, with fans amazed at his ability to seemingly never stop running. The teenager soon had established himself in the first team and continued gaining praise. His pace and skill drew admirers, but sadly, his skin colour brought abuse too. He was subject to horrific racial abuse from opposition fans, but on one occasion, bit back in style, performing a Black Power salute towards Millwall fans after he scored a late winner at the Den. Cunningham continued gaining prowess, and Leeds United legend Johnny Giles, now manager of West Bromwich Albion, signed him, and he would join a fellow black player at the club in centre-forward Cyril Regis. The next year, when Ron Atkinson took over as manager, he was joined by another black player in right-back Brendan Batson. They had become the second English top-flight team to field 3 black players at once, and Atkinson referred to the trio as the 3 degrees after the American Soul Group. The trio would help West Brom impress, with the club being at the upper levels of the top flight, also reaching the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup. Cunningham's skills on the wing were a perfect partner for Regis's goal scoring, and Ron Atkinson said that Cunningham had the ability to run in the snow and not leave a footprint. Cunningham starred in a famous 5-3 win over Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Ian Wright said that growing up, Cunningham was the only player he wanted to be like. But for all the moments of joy they created, they were up against cruel hatred. Racist supporters continued hurling abuse at the players, with National Front members often spitting on them as they entered grounds, with no security there to protect them. Bananas being thrown and monkey chants are commonplace, and Cunningham even received a petrol bomb on his doorstep due to his relationship with the white Nicky Brown. Brian Robson received a letter asking how he could stand having black teammates. Cunningham, however, did not let the abuse get him down. He was loved by his contemporaries, known as a kind and charismatic man, known for his wacky dress sense, often spotted out and about with a fedora and cane. As well as gaining admirers in the stands and on the street, he was gaining admirers from the biggest club of all. Cunningham's skills attracted the attention of Real Madrid, and in the summer of 1979, he signed for Los Blancos for a fee of £950,000. After West Brom's UEFA Cup tie against Valencia was broadcast on Spanish TV, many were impressed by Cunningham's ability. 1979 was also a great year for Cunningham, as he became the first ever black player to play for England in a competitive game. Whilst Viv Anderson had played for England before, his debut was in an international friendly. In the pre-Galacticos era, Real Madrid were looking for a superstar to help them continue dominating the domestic scene. Cunningham was the first Englishman to play for the club and only a second black player to do so. He quickly impressed, and one of his teammates said that Cunningham's pace was so incredible it made it look like his teammates were going backwards. On his league debut, he scored twice in a 3-1 win against Valencia, and 2 weeks later, he scored in the El Clasico as Los Blancos defeated Barcelona 3-1. The reverse El Clasico saw perhaps his finest moments, with an incredible display in a 2-0 win in a reverse fixture against Barcelona, seeing even some of the Catalan crowd rise and applaud him. The season ended in superb fashion, as Real Madrid won a double of the league and Copa del Rey. However, he would not be without his challenges, with some questioning his attitude, and a broken toe suffered in November would be the first of a series of injuries he experienced whilst in the Spanish capital. He was once spotted in a nightclub whilst wearing a cast on the night of an injury, which saw many question his professionalism further. His second season saw his injury woes continue, with botched operations seeing him ruled out for lengthy periods. He would play in the 1981 European Cup final against Liverpool, but the reality was, he was rushed back. It was hoped his presence would unnerve the Liverpool defence, but Bob Paisley's side did not buckle. Liverpool would win 1-0 in Paris. His injury woes continued in his third season at the Bernabeu, although he would add another Copa del Rey to his trophy haul. Whilst his time there got him silverware, it had not reached the heights he had hoped. He was shipped out on loan to Manchester United in 1983, being briefly reunited with Ron Atkinson. He would leave Real Madrid for good at the end of the 83-84 campaign, having been on loan to Sporting Gijón. His spells on the touchlines with injury saw him continue struggling to reach the heights of before, him having spells at Marseille, Leicester City and Rayo Vallecano. He had suffered personal tragedies too, with his two nieces being murdered back in London, as well as breaking up with his long-term partner. However, he would be part of one more moment of glory. After a brief spell at Charleroi in Belgium, he signed for Wimbledon in 1988, joining the Crazy Gang. He came on as a substitute in the FA Cup final against Liverpool as the Crazy Gang defeated the Culture Club in a shock result. He would go back to Spain for a second spell at Rayo Vallecano and would score the goal that got them promoted to the top flight for the first time. It was another milestone in his career, but sadly it would prove to be the last. In Madrid, on the morning of the 15th of July 1989, Laurie Cunningham was killed in a car crash at the age of 33. He left behind a wife and son. Laurie Cunningham remains fondly remembered by the footballing community, with a statue being unveiled of him a short walk away from Leyton Orient's ground in 2017, and another statue of him alongside Cyril Regis and Brendan Batson was unveiled in West Bromwich in 2019. Cunningham was a key part in the game expanding, helping giving young black players someone to look up to, and he helped break down barriers by entertaining and not being defeated by the hatred thrown his way. He was quite simply an entertainer, a man who loved the game and played it beautifully. Few have the honour of playing for Real Madrid, let alone winning a double for them. And whilst his time there may have been rocked by injuries, he still walked away from the Bernabeu with 3 major honours, more than most footballers can boast. Many wonder what might have been, but to win 3 honours of Real Madrid, as well as an FA Cup, and being a pioneer for black footballers is a truly incredible career. And there could be no doubt that when it came to football, Laurie Cunningham truly gave it the third degree.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on the AFC Finners channel. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please have a look at the channel down below and check out the hundreds of videos available. If you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, you can do so in the link below for as little as £1 a month. Please let me know what you thought of this video and what topic you'd like me to cover next. See you next time.